Hello and welcome back to my Warframe adventure. In today's episode, we complete the Silver Grove quest. We learn more about the Infested and Arlo, and I theorize more about the Warframes' origins and the voice we heard at the end of the War Within. Now, on with the show. Why hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and friends from beyond the binary, and welcome back to my Warframe adventure. It is lovely to see you all today, and I hope that you are doing well. The plan for today's episode is to go and begin and hopefully complete the Silver Grove quest. All I need to do is go and have a chat with Amarin in the new local room on any of the relays, which we will do shortly. But before we go and do that, I know a lot of people in the comments have really enjoyed watching me dig deeper into the modding system. So, allow me to show you a couple of the latest updates I've made to my loadout. Most of this will look the same. I'm rocking a lot of abilities or mods here to augment my abilities. As you can see, none of this has really changed. We're rocking Dead Eye to increase the damage dealt by my Rubico Prime, but the newest addition is Rush. I opened up the Exilus mod by using an adapter, and down here I was looking through all of my Exilus mods, and there are some good ones in here. I quite liked Lightning Dash. My only problem with Lightning Dash, and I might quickly show you actually, is I don't like the noise it makes. So every time you bullet jump, you hear this. And as cool as the lightning is, I don't think I can gel with that noise happening every single time I bullet jump. So I ditched Lightning Dash, and I had another look through here at other bits. I quite liked the idea of Sure-Footed, a chance to resist being knocked down, which I'm guessing would also affect the AoE blast, which some of the Eximus enemies do, where you, like, it hits you and you fall down. So I was tempted to use Sure-Footed, but then I thought, Rush sounds pretty good, and it just so happened to fit in perfectly with my remaining capacity. Now, the reason I think Rush is going to be excellent on my Vault is because, as you can see here, my sprint speed goes from 1 to 1.3, because of course it increases sprint speed by 30%. But the benefit of this on Vault is because of the speed ability, which gives me a speed multiplier now, because of all of these other mods, of 1.97, and just for the sake of making it a bit more understandable, let's just ramp that up to 2x. Let's imagine that's 2x. So without Rush, it's doubling my sprint speed to 2, right? But if I put Rush back in, it's doubling 1.3 to 2.6. So essentially, Rush on Vault, where I'm trying to maintain my speed buff, is going to give me a sprint speed of 2.6. It's a little bit less than that. It's like 2.5. What is it again? 1.97. It's like 2.59. Whatever. It's close enough. So I'm really happy with that. Have I tried it in a mission yet? No, actually. This is new as of maybe 10 minutes ago. But what I really dug into last night was my Rubico Prime. So allow me to show you the mods I'm rocking over here. So I think the ones you'll be familiar with, we've got our Elements, which I'm currently rocking Stormbringer and Infected Clip. We've got Serration, which is a must-have. I've got Vital Sense to increase my critical damage. Argon Scope to give me a higher critical chance when aiming on headshot. Well, when you headshot, you then get the buff when you aim, which I'm doing anyway with a sniper. But I've got 3 brand new mods in here, which I was kind of doing a little bit of like mod theory crafting, build crafting last night, and I was using the Discord as a way to quickly ask some questions of the community to make sure I wasn't misunderstanding anything. I believe I started with, if memory serves, semi-rifle cannonade. That's it. So I was looking for anything which increased damage. So I was over at the codex looking through the mods. I typed in damage and was going through the rifle mods which increased damage, and I stumbled upon this one. Semi-rifle cannonade increases damage by 240%, and bearing in mind Serration is only 165. Okay, so it's huge. It gives an additional amount of punch through, which should now mean that if there are multiple enemies lined up, I can shoot through them. But it came with a caveat. fire rate cannot be modified. And I thought, well, for a, you know, a sniper, I'm not necessarily spamming it. Most of the time when I'm dealing with the chaff, I'm headshotting them and then aiming at the next one, headshotting them, moving to the next one. You get the gist of it. But I did think, I wonder if there's anything I can use to benefit from this, because fire rate cannot be modified. Again, it doesn't matter to me too much. I wonder if there are any mods which utilize fire rate in a negative way, and then that's when I discovered critical delay. And again, going through the mod thing over at the codex, I typed in fire rate and I discovered critical delay. You cannot rock this and point strike. They are mutually exclusive, right? So it's one or the other. Point strike gives 150% crit chance. Critical delay increases that by 50%, but with the caveat of -% to fire rate. But because I have semi-rifle cannonade, it doesn't affect the fire rate. As you can see, fire rate has the locked icon next to it, which means it cannot be altered, positively or negatively. So if I remove critical delay, you'll see my fire rate doesn't change, but my critical rate drops by, well, a considerable amount. So let's go and re-equip that. That's it. Like, honestly, that's the biggest change that I've made here. If I need to change my elemental type, I can do that on the fly. Most of them do have that horizontal polarity. It does have a name, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. So as you can see down here, Hellfire is also that horizontal polarity. Naramon. Oh, Naramon, Riven, Vizarin, Madurai. Ah, okay. Cool. I didn't even realize those were the names. So yeah, as you can see, Hellfire does also fit into that scheme. So I can rock Toxin, Electricity, and Heat. The only problem I have is wanting to try and slot in Cryo rounds. If I need to be dealing damage with cold, it's a little trickier for me to do. And I think this is where you can buy a type of former which affects all polarities. I don't know what it's called, but I know it exists because I think you can buy one in the menu. It might be worth my time making one of these slots that everything, you know, former. But the way I would do it is I'd probably put the everything former up here where critical delay is, and then swap the polarity with this slot and this slot. That way both of the horizontal lines are in the corner, and then we can move one of the other ones down here. So yeah, that's sort of a little breakdown on how I'm getting on over here with the whole modding situation. As you can see, I've put 2 former on my Rubico Prime. I think the biggest amount of damage I've seen so far, or the largest amount of damage so far, sorry, is 750,000. I'm yet to see 1 million, but I'm hoping that will come soon. So yeah, that's my modding update. And again, I did this last night, and I looked at the top comments on, I think it must have been the War Within video? Maybe a different one? The top comment on one of the videos was someone who was, and clearly hundreds of other people because it had loads of likes on it, who were rather alarmed at my failure to mod for crit rate. So I promise you this is not an answer to that person. It just so happens that I did this last night, read that comment this morning, and I do feel excited about people hopefully seeing how much I've grown in the modding department. Anyway, let's come over here. What do I need to do again to begin? Talk to Amarin in new local room in any relay. The way I'm going to get there is if I come here, I did want to go and see...
The multitude of creatures you have immortalized would cry out in thanks.
Would they? See ya. Yeah, I did want to quickly go and see Samaris because I do have a bunch
you
of...
explore the sanctuary for new knowledge.
Yeah, I see you there. You stay there, please. If we come over here, can I buy anything?
This is how I can help you. Help the sanctuary.
Help the
I will
sanctuary.
share what I know.
Okay, I'm trying to read, Samaris. Can you stop? I did want to have a quick look in here if there was anything we wanted to grab, because I got 31,000 standing. Data pass widget synthesis scanner will now show target enemy weaknesses and resistances. Cross matrix charts for each scan with the synthesis scanner to count as 2. What kind of charts are we talking here? Because that's potentially quite spicy. And vector thread widget reduces the time required. Oh, that's not as exciting. This is exciting. This is whatever. We've also got Madurai Transmute Core. Ensures transmuted mod is of Madurai polarity and eliminates credit cost. It's a mod for what, though? Can I put that into my modding bench? That's potentially exciting. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. We've got Looter, emits a pulse wave to break open loot crates. Oh, that's pretty nice. That's quite nice. Detect vulnerability upon completing research on an enemy. Subsequent scans will reveal their weak points. Affinity Blessing, thank you, Cryovision. Reawaken, energy orbs reduce sentinel recovery time. Yeah, negate, sentinel prevents status effects from applying to its owner once every 5 seconds. When ghost invisibility is broken, Shade's owner is granted 240% weapon damage. That's potentially exciting if you're playing a stealthy character. Energy generator for the Death Cube. What a name. Death Cube drops an energy orb after assisting in 10 kills. Botanist. Oxalis Sentinel will automatically pick any plants within 50 meters over 2 seconds. Energy conversion. Energy orbs grant 50% more ability. Ooh, that sounds quite nice. Especially because I'm rocking Equilibrium. If I can be grabbing 1 energy orb between each cast of Discharge, the fact that Discharge could deal an additional 50% damage is kind of crazy. Health conversion. Health orbs grant 450 armor. And Astral Autopsy. Fatal strikes against an enemy also perform a Codex scan. Huh, that might be quite good. I guess I run into a lot of enemies when I'm doing the Arcwing missions that I normally wouldn't run into. Simulacrum access key. In the simulacrum, you can face mimeographs of enemies you have fully researched with the Codex. Very cool. Okay. I will definitely come back soon, sir. I know some people have asked if I'm continuing to do this. I am, but it has been on the back burner. I've mainly been focusing on, as you've been able to tell, hopefully, leveling up. Thank you, sir. If you couldn't tell, I have been working on my Entrati standing. That's sort of been my #1 goal. Because as much as I would love to play this game all of the time, again, I'm a parent to a 1.5-year-old. I've got a loving wife. Like, I've got so many things outside of work and hobbies that I need to take care of. So my time is rather limited when it comes to being able to play the game. But I promise you that every free moment I do have is probably filled up with this game. Like, I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, I am going to continue working on the synthesis scans. It's just, it wasn't my #1 priority because I really wanted to learn more about the Entrati, seeing as we and they are so closely linked, especially because they mentioned that we are beneficiaries of their family's void research, which, you know, that's very exciting. I know a couple of people have also commented about the reflections that I mentioned in the last episode as being a byproduct of dynamic resolution. I do not have dynamic resolution on. Curiously, though, these windows are spotless. I mean, yeah, we've got a little bit of diffusion there, but that's normal, isn't it, considering the light out there? I'd love if the window on our orbiter was this clear. Like, there's so many things in here that could reflect off the windows, but they're just not. That is lovely. So yeah, if anyone from Digital Extremes is watching, please fix that problem with the orbiter window. Because my God, let me just gaze out at the you know, open sky and enjoy it. We need to go to the New Loka room. So syndicates, New Loka. I think these guys hate me. New Loka offerings. Oh God.
You're just like the rest, tainted and ruined beyond salvation.
Am I going to be able to do this quest? I feel like this probably isn't going to go very well. The Silver Grove.
Do you know of the Silver Grove, Earth's oldest and most pure forest? It is home to our most sacred shrine.
Okay.
We've learned that the Grineer, those twisted abominations, are planning to build a factory on it. Grineer Scorch units have been deployed, intent on turning our blessed Silver Grove to ash. Generations ago, we recovered an apothic recipe at the shrine. We believe it will reawaken the forest's legendary defenses. Gather the ingredients and deliver the apothic to the heart of the shrine. You are the only hope for the Silver Grove and the natural purity it represents.
Okay. The Silver Grove. New Loka seeks help protecting a sacred forest from Grineer incursions. But are they ready to face the forest's true nature? Well, I mean, these butterflies appear to be somewhat Orican coded? Okay, let's check it out. Accept quest. The Silver Grove added to inventory.
You're just like...
Yeah, okay, I don't need to hear you say it again. I already feel bad enough about myself. Okay. Anything else I want to do at the relay before moving on? I don't think so. No. Okay. Leave Strata Relay. I'm hoping as well to have like a little bit of a...
You have new quests in your codex.
Not necessarily like full-on theory crafting, but go over some of my thoughts from the quests this week at the end of today's episode. As I'm sure you can see by using the timestamps down below. So, it says new quest Rising Tide in the top right-hand corner still. Do I need to come over here to begin the quest proper? Yes. Okay. Begin quest. We have mail.
Are you ready to help our Silver Grove?
I am.
We need the apothic to awaken its defenses. Scour the system and find the plants we need.
Okay.
Apothics? Forest defenses?
Typical new Loka Kavash.
I suppose anything is possible. I've inspected this apothic. There's an encoded message attached.
Sorry. So, a little bit of Ordis's, if I go to Ordis, which, hold on, we do know a little bit more about Ordis, don't we, from the events of yesterday. Did I put it under Hunhow? I did. So, if I put at the top here, Acephalon, formerly known as, where is it? Ordan Karis. Ordan Karis, Beast of the Bones. I was just going to write at the bottom here, it'd seem Ordis, parentheses, Ordan, has a low opinion of the New Loka organization, syndicate. New Loka Syndicate, referring to them as Kavat it. Okay, right. Nightfall Apothic. Dusklight Serencia. Moonlight, Dragon Lily, and Sunlight Threshcone with some Morphics. We can do that. We can do that. Take this Apothic and complete it. Okay.
My bags are packed. I'm all set to leave. I can't believe I'll be working with one of my childhood heroes, Archimedian Margulis.
Oh my god!
On comms, she said she needed the best infestation biologist there was. I think my knees almost gave out. As I log this, I'm looking out the stained plastic of my field tent into the dead, yellow sky of Earth. I smell the vague sulfur and toxins leaking through the seals. Yet, somehow, I'm gonna miss this place. Leaving here feels like I'm giving up on my dream. My dream to see green and blue return to the sick and dying mother of us all. But I'm frustrated with my lack of progress. I've tried everything to accelerate the ailing vegetation, to guide and nurture the soil, but nothing comes of it. I need a change. Now I have that opportunity, and thanks to Margulis, I'm relieved I won't be drafted into some Orican war project.
Oh my god. That was
Bags are packed. I'm I'm all set to leave.
I'm reading it again.
I can't believe
Hold
I'll
on.
be working with one of my childhood heroes, Archimedean Margulis.
Oh, comedian
On top, she
Margulis.
said she
All right, hold
needed-
on. I'd love to hear you say that all again, but at the same time.
The ingredients you seek will not be easy to come by. They grow in some of the system's most hostile environments. You can see why we turn to you for help.
I already have the ingredients, no? I thought... I've already got them. Plenty of them, in fact. Nightfall Apothec. Okay, I know that's only going to take 10 seconds, but let me quickly come back over here. Silver Grove Quest. Archimedean Margulis. Orokin War Project. Dead Yellow Sky of Earth. The smell of sulfur and toxins. But the most interesting thing, on comms, she said she needed the best infestation biologist there was. The best infestation biologist there was. Why was Margulis looking for someone versed into or in infestation biology? Goes back to some of our previous theories, ever so slightly, about how maybe that has impacted the Tenno and the Warframes. Shout out to Lephantis for giving us that thread. Where are we? Nightfall Apothec. There it is. The Silver Grove. Find the shrine. Are we going down to Earth? It would seem Earth now looks relatively okay. I mean, it looks okay. We can't see much of Europe, but what we can see of Africa seems to be more or less what I'd expect to see. Maybe a little less vegetation in some areas, especially along the northern areas, but what exactly happened? What happened to Earth for it to have become this wasteland? Find the shrine, let's go. You must have Nightfall Apothec in your gear wheel. I don't think you can... Can you change your gear wheel from here on the left? I don't believe so. No, okay. Let's go back this way. Oh! I did have an interesting, not huge bit of lore, but there was something named on my weapon here. Maya. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to see this behind my camera. Maybe if I go into equipment, inventory, and type Maya. No, I'm not trying to sell it, sorry. A relic from the Great Plague. The Maya-infested sword is a brutal weapon. It not only cuts into the enemy, it infects the wounds of its victims with a toxic nerve poison. I, to my knowledge, don't think we've ever heard of a Great Plague. Great Plague referenced in the Maya sword. And I'll quickly search Great Plague. Yeah, there's nothing about a plague anywhere else in my notes. What did they had another name for the infestation? Like the Grey something? The Grey strain? Something to do with the infestation? I'm wondering if they're related. Because when you think of plagues, a strain of a plague, my guess is it is related to the infestation, given what the weapon can do, right? I mean, just look at it as well. But yeah, first time I've heard of the Great Plague, whatever that is. But I thought I'd show that because there's a lot of hidden lore in the descriptions of these things. Anyway, I digress. Gear wheel. Gear, and let's chuck it in over here, shall we? Nightfall Apothec? Apothec, yes. Okay. And I know a few people have kindly suggested that I keybind some of my gear wheel. I will confirm I do have some of them bound to keys. Such as my Arkwing on Z. So that when I'm over in Deimos, for example, all I need to do is jump, hit Z, just moving my thumb on the keyboard, and I can begin flying. Because you can mount... Sorry, I was trying to look a bit closer at Arthur. You can mount your Archwing while you're in the air. But it doesn't like you being on slightly uneven ground.
The Silver Grove. Can you
Look how
feel
fast we run now.
purity? Beyond, all is contaminated, toxic. But here,
Everything is pure, original.
That's why your mission is so important. Can we risk losing this?
Okay,
Our
are you...
shrine is nearby. Search around. I'll let you know when I can feel its energy.
I'm gonna go. I just wanted to try speed and see how quick it makes me. Ready? Oh.
Silver Grove, forgive this Warframe on your sacred soil. By water, by sky, by holy humanity. Bless our mission to defend you. No disrespect, Tenno, but I had to ask forgiveness from the Grove.
Is that because I'm
Carrying
an
out
enemy
this
of them?
mission with a Warframe is a bit of a contradiction for us.
Okay, okay. All right, here we go. Speed. Whoa! Oh my god, this is crazy! Look at this! Everything's so yellow, it's almost too yellow. It's a bit much. Right, we need to find this grove, which I'm gonna guess is around here somewhere. God, is something wrong with the lighting? It is oppressive just how yellow it is. Like, it is... Is that wrong? I feel like maybe something's gone wrong here. I'll rock with it. I'll rock with it. Maybe it'll get better. Who knows? Maybe it's part of the experience.
Yes, you're very close now. Look for a small opening in the rocks.
Okay, I'll look for a small opening in the rocks. I hope that wherever this Silver Grove is, it's not as oppressively yellow. Because it's a lot for me to take in here. A gap in the rocks. There's one here. Could this be it?
I can't sense the shrine any longer.
Move too far away.
You have moved too far away.
Don't worry, I'm going back.
Here, you're close. I can feel it. Can you see any narrow openings?
I am trying to discover a narrow opening. Here we go. This feels... There it is. And it's not piss yellow. Let's go in.
Here, can you feel it? You found the shrine. Anoint it with your apothec.
I will anoint it with my apothec. Okay, ready? Oh, before we anoint it, let's just listen. That is very soothing. Very, very soothing. I'd love to get a closer look at these little butterflies. Can I scan them? Out of curiosity? Doesn't seem like I can. Okay. Anoint shrine. What? Who are you?
The sun in my skin. My voice is the wind. I'm lost in this soil. Why?
Did you hear that? Unbelievable. The grove, it speaks. My heart, wait. A new apothec. We will learn its recipe, forage its ingredients,
Okay.
The Grove needs this. New Loka needs this. It's time to... wait.
Wait. What's happening?
Intruder! You should not be here!
We are pure and true. Forgive our intrusion.
Come on,
Will
Amarin.
you accept our protection?
Roll a 30 on the persuasion. Who is this? Knave Spectre. Oh,
The Silver Grove must be confused about our pure and holy intentions. This new object may hold the key to making it understand.
okay. I don't mean to jump the gun, and it might just be because I heard him in the last episode. But the qualities in the voice that we just heard remind me a lot of Hunhow. Which has me thinking, what if the voice beneath the grove is a buried sentient? Maybe? We've seen that there are, you know, ruins and wreckages and pieces of sentience littered around the place. So it's not
Mission complete.
outside the realms of
Excellent
possibility. Titania Systems Blueprint? Ooh. Thank you very much. Titania. Okay. We now need to get another recipe for another
How is
apothec.
it that a spectre came to be in this most sacred shrine? Could this be a vestige of some earlier Orokin incursion?
Ooh.
Operator, the codex system just pulled another voice entry from that apothec.
Yes!
Allow Ordis to display it for you.
Yes, please! Talk about Margulis again, please.
My childhood dream has become a nightmare. I don't blame Margulis. She's as much a victim as the children we're working with. At first, the project seemed therapeutic and nurturing. I was myself. But now, transference therapy is being turned into a weapon. Now I build these vile weapons called Warframes, all for one purpose. Death. I've become everything I hate. I long for the discomfort of my damp tent, the sick, aimless trees, the barren soil. I know I left my soul behind back there. Titania is the next Warframe I've been commanded to build, but in secret, I've been siphoning resources from the project. I have an idea. A way back to that wounded land I call home. A way for me to forget this war and remember what I was.
Oh my god, this is huge! Okay, got the note. Let's close this before she starts speaking again. Hold on, there might be more dialogue. There it
The
is.
Silver Grove is a pure and sacred force. Why would it be vandalized with such a message? Earth's oldest forest is populated with the first trees that evolved a resistance to the Orokin bondage. The rest of Earth is polluted with the monstrosities of their genetic tinkering. But these trees are pure. When we finally reseed Earth, it will be with these specimens.
The Silver Grove. In all the operator's missions on Earth, Ordis has not scanned an area quite so magical.
Magical!
Ruxclaw. We had one of these plants in our greenhouse once, but a new recruit overwatered it. We haven't found any since.
I've got like loads of those from Mars. Loads of those from Mars. Gather required plants to craft the Twilight Apothec. If I need Ruck's Claw, then I probably have them. Okay, let's come over here. Go to Silver Grove Quest. So, boom. There is some huge stuff in here. Not least, the fact that they have a whiz in... Again, she needed the best infestation biologist there was, And then they put the infestation biologist in charge, well, not in charge, but included them pretty heavily in the creation of Warframes, right? The fact that they were commanded to build a Warframe would necessitate that their familiarity with the infestation and their biology would be paramount to their creation. Lephantis, I take back everything I said about you. You're a great boss. I love you so much. Because it was thanks to Lephantis's... If I go and get him up, actually. Lephantis. Lephantis says, "Why do you destroy us? We are your flesh." Why do you destroy us? We are your flesh. And I think it's under theories... They created the Lephantis to serve as a tool in the old war. Infested enemy. Were they experimenting with creating chimera out of living beings? Do I not mention them again in here? No. Either way, go back to Silver Grove quest. So, an infestation biologist is put, or is not put in charge, sorry, but is put in charge of making Titania, which presumably means there are other frames which they have developed. An infestation biologist is made to, asked to, whatever, made to create Warframes, further linking the infestation with Warframe creation. Look back to Lephantis's comments earlier in the playthrough. My childhood dream has become a nightmare. I don't blame Margulis. She's as much a victim as the children we're working with. At first, the project seemed therapeutic and nurturing. I was myself. But now, transference therapy is being turned into a weapon. Now I build these vile weapons called Warframes, all for one purpose: death. I long for the discomfort of my damp tent, the sick, aimless trees, the barren soil. I know I left my soul behind back there. Titania is the next Warframe I've been commanded to build, but in secret I've been siphoning resources from the project. I have an idea. A way back to that wounded land I call home. A way for me to forget this war and remember what I was. But there was also a very intriguing little bit of dialogue that she threw out at the end there. I did get a picture. Allow me to go to my photos. Warframe. Where is it? The rest of Earth. The rest of Earth is polluted with the monstrosities of their genetic tinkering. ... Oh, no, sorry, no ... But these trees are pure. I don't know if I got another screenshot earlier. She said something earlier in that conversation. I didn't get it. During the beginning of the mission, she did say, "By water, by sky, by holy humanity, bless our mission to defend you." Carrying out this mission with a Warframe is a bit of a contradiction for us. Because if indeed we are a product of biological experimentation, which we've long been led to believe, then we are an affront to nature itself at that point, right? But sorry, to go back to this comment here. We know that Earth is, and if I show you the star chart actually, Earth is dominated by Grineer. Everywhere you look is Grineer. Grineer. Like, my assumption here is Grineer. There are some infested, as you can see here, but for the most part, it is just Grineer. So, is that implying something we didn't previously know about the Grineer? If I go Grineer, we know that they're clones. Seeds of the Old War. Seeds of the Old War. Are they a faction of clones? Some Grineer are labeled Eximus. That's kind of irrelevant now because lots of things can be Eximus. It'd seem they suffer from a cloning syndrome. And they're desperate for my blood. My divine blood potentially being Kuva. So, is this confirmation that the Grineer are in fact a biological experiment I got another screenshot. Oh my god, I've just remembered. Where did I get it? It was last night, I think? Found it. I found it. Let me paste it in so you can see it is actually a screenshot I've taken, and I'm not ripping this from like the web. Hold on. I'm going to get a little picture. My operator chimed in with this last night. The Grineer used to be builders, but now all they make is war. So I wonder, to tack onto this, is this confirmation that the Grineer are in fact a biological experiment? One made... I was going to say docile. Made by the Orokin to serve their empire as builders / workers? ... question mark? Reminds me a little bit as well. Sorry, I know I said I wasn't going to do any theorizing in the middle of the episode, but this is awesome. Samaris imprints, Lancer imprint. Put that over here. Hold on, I've messed this up. You go there. Lancer imprint, you go there. There we go. So, merely framed, merely shaped, they are called, there was no their mother, there was no their father. Is this referring to the fact that the Grineer are clones? In this moment in time, the Grineer are working on behalf of the Orokin. Is this the process which saw so many of the system's inhabitants become corrupted? We're basically... Again, I'm ad-libbing slightly here, so sorry if this is wrong. The Lancer imprint tells the story of a Grineer working in the outer terminus on a mining colony, I believe. Something along those lines. And then there's a bright flash of light, there are things happening, and then they come over and say, this one would be a good sample or a good subject or something. So, is that what they were made for? Are the Grineer just workers? Is that their intention? But then who is Patient Zero? Who was the one which began the Grineer? I wonder if we can look into the sort of structure of the name Grineer and go back to maybe like Latin. Like does grin or near mean anything in Latin to try and maybe... I know it might not be anything to do with Latin, but oftentimes when you look at, you know, makeup of a word, origins, etc., you can maybe uncover a little bit extra there. Anyway, we'll leave that for now. Very, very exciting developments. I think after having done the Limbo Theorem, no shade to our friends over at Digital Extremes, I know it's an old quest. After having done the Limbo Theorem, which was essentially Ordis occasionally popping in and going, wow, Limbo really liked maths. Limbo was able to create these pockets in space-time, and oh wow, and he was really good at maths. And then we get the blueprints. This is so much more in-depth than I was expecting. Gather required plants to craft the Twilight Apothec. Do I have everything I need for a Twilight Apothec? Let us see. Apothec. We do, handedly as well. We need 6 Rux Claw. I've got 50. We need 2 Moonlight Jade Leaf. I've got 16. We need 6 Lunar Pitcher. I have 18. Amazing. And then we'll rush it because I'm lazy.
You have created the second Apothec. This is the path to an Earth unmarred by exploitation.
Okay. Is it the shrine? Let's go. Again, I forgot to go put it in the gear wheel. Let's go back. Let us go back. So, gear. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Twilight Apothec. Perfect. Okay, let's go. Nice. Visit the shrine. So I'm wondering then if that is... if the voice we're hearing is Titania. I don't think so. I feel like Titania is defending whoever and whatever it is that we heard speak. Now that I see Earth less shrouded by...
You're just in time. They're choking the forest with their flames. You must reach the shrine before they do. Oh, Tenno, Why do they hate everything not born of their disgusting flesh factories?
Disgusting
There's
flesh
something
factories.
different about this place, but Ordis is not quite sure what it is.
Well, we're gonna discover that in just a second, Ordis. Allow me to, speed my way over here in this direction. And we'll see what's going on. Okay. We've returned. Any new dialogue before I go and anoint the shrine? Nothing at all. Here we go.
You hateful abomination! Get out now!
Oh, we're gonna have to deal with more.
Titania, is that you? Where have you been? I'm fading. Please, wake me again.
This is not right. Get out now. We don't know what we're dealing with anymore. This could be some sort of Orokin sentry. Who is this creature we've woken? The Silver Grove is timeless. This voice seems human.
What if it... Yeah, sorry, okay. Scrub the sentient theory. What if that voice is this infestation biologist? And having created Titania, they laid themselves to rest in the grove as a way to reclaim the soul which they felt they had lost in having created these machines of war? But then how are they still alive?
Another job well executed.
Titania chassis blueprint. One more bit to go. Not bad. Not bad at all. And Sunrise Apothic blueprint. Imagine if we've got all of the prerequisites. Wouldn't that be incredible? Okay.
This new codex message, this
Ballas is beyond pleased.
Ballas!
But when I look at what I've built, at Titania, I feel sick creep up my throat. I hate her. A killer made by a healer. No more. I'm going back to where I belong, no matter the cost. I'm going back to the trees to find myself again. These past weeks, I've been secretly testing transference on myself. I can only survive short bursts, linking to Titania the way only Tenno can stand. I've never felt anything like it. A tortured presence, like an evil ink, staining my mind. But it worked. I'm going to use this wrong to make right. I'll stow away with earthbound cargo. Just my apothecs and these slapdash somatics I've stolen. By nightfall, I'll be home again, in my tent under those bitter acid skies. This time, I'm going to fix it. I will seed a mighty forest, stronger than history, and by my will, use it to bring life.
Oh my god! God, this is incredible! Bits of world building. We've got a Ballas name drop as well. Okay, let's... Any new dialogue before I begin talking?
I can't believe this. The Silver Grove isn't natural at all. It's just another abomination made by some delusional Archimedean. It was lies. I'm ashamed our ancestors worshipped such impurity. This can never get out. I'm done here. If the Grineer want to destroy the Silver Grove, let them.
What a dogmatic perspective. Operator, you are a product of similar meddling, and yet you are good. Your actions have meant more than your origins.
Oh, thank you, Ordis.
We must complete our mission.
I agree. Oh,
Have you found any Vestin moss? Neither have we, but our scholars theorize that it could thrive in damp, cold rocks away from the light of the sun.
Okay. I'll look into that in just a second. First of all, Ballas is beyond pleased. Ballas is beyond pleased. I feel sick creep up my throat. I hate her. A killer made by a healer. No more. I'm going back to where I belong. No matter the cost, I'm going back to the trees to find myself again. These past weeks, I've been secretly testing transference upon myself, a non-Tenno. Linking to Titania the way only Tenno can stand. I've never felt anything like it. A tortured presence like an evil ink staining my mind. But it worked. I'm going to use this wrong to make it right. A tortured presence. The Warframe? Or the voice which we heard at the end of the War Within, who we will theorize about later in this episode. Where was I? Like an evil ink. Like an evil ink. Oh, staining my mind. Ink. Staining my mind. I'll stow away with earthbound cargo. Just my apothix and the slapdash somatics I've stolen. By nightfall, I'll be home again in the tent under those bitter acid skies. This time I'm going to fix it. I will see the mighty forest. I wonder if that'll be Titania's powers. We'll be able to do similar things with Titania. Because if okay, so I know I said I'd theorize later. So transference, as we understand it, I don't know if we've even got anything in here. No, we can just search all the notes for transference. But that is obviously what allows us as the operator to control the Warframes. And it seems to be almost wholly derived of the fact that we are tainted with the void. That's what allows transference to happen, right? So how is she able to transfer to Titania? I've never felt anything like it. A tortured presence like an evil ink staining my mind. Again, I'm torn as to whether the tortured presence is the Warframe, if it is indeed a byproduct of biological experimentation on people, or I don't know what the Grineer Queen said. Not silver cysts, metal cyst? Metal cyst? We made these metal cysts. We gave you your precious gifts. I'll talk more maybe about Warframe theories, but I'm torn still as to whether it is built upon a biological host, a human, a Grineer. Maybe that's why the Grineer existed. Maybe that's a further expansion upon the Grineer. Maybe they weren't originally meant to be builders and workers, but maybe they were meant to be flesh to be experimented upon by these infestation experts. Can we turn this humanoid into something more, something powerful? Either that, or the Warframes themselves are this metal shell that is then injected with a strain of infestation, and then it grows around the shell. This is when we could go back and see what Kaylee had said about what we were. Ferrous, organic, ferrous, exoflesh or something. I don't remember what she said. Anyway, if she herself wasn't tainted by the void, which I think is fair to assume, why was she able to do it? Through the use of the somatics? Or because she made Titania? Maybe there's a link there. Like, there are, historically now, among these Warframe quests, I mean, the one which really comes to mind is Gara and the Tower of the Unum. Right? If we go back to the Gara note, it was said that that she was the Unum's closest companion, and that when the Lotus instructed her children to flee, Gara remained, refusing to leave the side of the one she loved best. So these Warframes, though I'm guessing in the case of Gara, now that we know more about Tenno, Gara would have been piloted by a Tenno, and maybe that Tenno had a relation with the Unum in some capacity. Or whether Gara herself, as the frame, was able to think and feel? Anyway, I'm digressing a little bit. The point is, frames and those that operate them are known to have these strong connections with others. Is that what is happening here, maybe? I love that this is further developing Ballas as well. That Ballas is like real happy with the construction of the Warframes. So if I go to his note, Ballas, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I wonder if that is in reference maybe to the Warframes. He was it more than pleased? Beyond pleased. He was beyond pleased to see the creation of Titania, indicating he enjoyed creating these weapons of war? Full stop. Okay, and if we go back here, star away at Earth, Brown Out will be home again in the tent. Alright, we'll leave that there for now. Let's go and have a look at the Sunrise Apothec. Sunrise Apothec. Oh, close! We only had 3 Sunlight Jade Leaf, but we've only needed 2. We've got 26 Vestan Moss and 14 Frost Leaf. Very nice. Yoink. Okay. Visit the shrine. Any more dialogue before I go? No. Okay. Thought I'd give it a moment. I'm gonna... every time! I forget to put it on the gear wheel. I'm gonna guess this is our last visit, because this will be the 3rd piece of the blueprint, right? Gear, equip. Sunrise Apothec, there it is. Nice. Okay, let's go. Visit the shrine. With pleasure. I like that this also fleshes out the Warframes to the point where I feel like I have a personal connection with them. Like, when I finally unlock Gara, I will feel almost beholden to playing Gara when I go to Cetus and the Plains of Eidolon, or the Eidolon.
Have you returned to protect me once more? The last Apothec. Quickly, please.
So, my guess then as to why this human is...
Fire infects me. I am fueling my own destruction. Titania, stop them.
That definitely sounds like the voice we've been hearing. I was gonna say maybe...
A mind within the forest? This is an abomination. Let it burn.
Maybe eventually all of the transference...
Child of truth. You reject me, but are blind to our shared purpose.
I'm not gonna go in so it doesn't cut off the audio.
This world a wasteland in spite of me.
All Amarin say.
I don't know. This goes against everything I believe.
Truth has a way of doing that.
Is that all? I think that might be all. Okay, we're gonna go in. I was gonna say maybe in having transferred so much, eventually her consciousness separated from the body and is maybe just like, again, in the soil now, which is like, it's really cool, also incredibly sad.
The final apothic. I need clarity to fight back.
Just gonna wait, make sure we don't okay, yeah, let's go.
There. That's it. The clarity. And now I realize you're not my beloved Titania, but another like her that has come to protect me.
Well, there is a specter of her here.
Beware. Titania's old guardians will still attack. I have no will over them.
Okay.
I am grateful. But the workers are here, with their torches and violence. I will fight them the best I can. You have just a moment to escape.
I am...
No, we won't leave you.
Amarin!
Tenno,
Come on!
Ready yourself. I was wrong. We can't let this beautiful place burn.
That's character development, folks. Defend the shrine. Are they only going to be coming through here? Or am I going to have to deal with them from above? Yeah, here they come. So can I just sit here with my sniper and... Oh, no. They're spawning all around me. Never mind. Okay. I was going to say, can I just sort of sit here and look at the door and wait for them all to filter in? No. No. The game has said no. We can't have that. So let's put down our shield, activate our lightning buff, and then we're going to try and kill some people. 750,000. These aren't even critical hits. These aren't even critical hits, guys. That's how powerful we are. 1.7 million! Oh my god! Woohoo! That is uncharted territory.
The same determination she did.
Okay, I do need some more energy, so allow me to come down here and hopefully grab some from the bodies of these wonderful Grineer. I can see there's some over here. There you go. Grab the energy, run back out. Come up here. Deal with them. Oh, there's another one coming down, I think. Yeah, there they are. And dead. Right, sorry. 17 seconds remain. Put down the shield. Buff myself with electricity. And let's see if we can get one more big crit before it ends. Nah. Nah. 1.7 million. There you go. That'll do.
Control. Hold on. I can help too.
Okay. I anticipate your aid.
That's it. Thank you, whoever you are. I am Sylvana.
Sylvana!
Welcome to my forest.
Forgive me, Sylvana.
I'm not even kidding.
I doubted you. I thought you were just another Orokin poison.
I once
No, sorry, I didn't mean to...
the same of Warframes. When the Orokin found out what I had done here, they sent their dax upon the great trees, upon me. As the skies grew hot, and my roots split into cinder, I let out a deep, earthen scream. I was dying. And then suddenly, I felt a familiar presence. One by one, the mighty dax began to fall, swatting hopelessly at some unseen menace. Others were snared, drifting upward in a mesmerizing light. And then, all at once, shredded by that unseen force, When the fire subsided, I knew what it was. Titania, my ashamed creation. I felt her beating wings through my branches. I felt her mortal wounds, her weeping burns as she fell beneath my canopy. And so it was here, within the grove, that she died to save me. Me, the one who had hated her most.
Sylvana, by the strength of this Tenno, she will fly again. I swear it.
The forest and myself are in debt to both of you.
The parallels between Titania saving Sylvana and Gara saving the Tower of the Unum. But presumably in that moment, Titania... God, this is where I'm getting so incredibly excited to discover more. Presumably in that moment, Titania wasn't being piloted by a Tenno, or were they? Because there's a very big distinction there. Whether there was a Tenno who was like, I remember being loved and looked after and healed by Sylvana. Or did Titania gain some form of sentience? Not sentience. Sentience. Right? Slightly ruined the moment that we had a big picture of Mum just on the screen there. Never mind. I will go back and I'll like pause my recording, you know, in a time in the not too distant future, and I'll go and transcribe all of that. When the Dax came to attack, I can only assume that was at the revelation that Sylvana was no longer wherever they were making the Warframes. And in order to reclaim the somatics and all of the other bits and pieces which she had siphoned away, they sent the Dax. I'm gonna guess between Margulis and Ballas, it was probably Ballas who sent them. I don't think Margulis would do such a thing from what we know of her. What I was gonna make before all of that happened and then Mum appeared, I'm an avid Dungeons & Dragons player, if you couldn't tell by the D20 at the end of my handle. I once played a multi-classed Paladin Warlock combo. I was a Paladin devout to Sylvanas, and I had a pact with Titania. And I was very much a tree hugger, which is putting it, you know, rather bluntly. I was a paladin of nature, and between this bond which I had forged with Sylvanas, the god, and Titania of the Fae, that's kind of how I developed my powers as a paladin. So to have a quest where I've unlocked Titania the Frame and Sylvanas, yeah, that's quite apt, because that is one of my favorite D&D characters I've ever played.
Job well executed.
Titania Neuroptics. Nice. Nice. Awesome. Really, really enjoyed this. I don't know if we'll be able to go and learn more, like go and have a chat with Amarin, if we can go back to the Grove. I'm guessing Sylvana...
Transference inside a tree. I guess...
The Silver Grove was planted with the rotted seeds of the Orokin, corrupt in the eyes of our doctrine. Our tenets command us to reject it. But how can we? Sylvana longed to restore Earth's former glory just as we do. If we are to see Earth restored, perhaps New Loka itself must change. I will convince them to see Sylvana's creation for the miracle it is. Some will call that heresy, but it is true, and truth is the purest thing we have.
Hear, hear. Tenno, you have enriched our souls, and for what? For that, we are beholden to you. Our praises, Amarin of New Loka. Titania blueprint. Titania's fairy-like appearance, which again fits in with the D&D version of Titania being a fey creature, belies her formidable regal power. The Enchantress deals high damage and provides crowd control. She forces opponents to pay homage or perish. Got Spellbind, Tribute, Lantern, and Razor Wing. And the passive is generating health for herself and nearby allies every time she casts an ability. Spellbind, enemies fumble their weapons as they are whisked into the air. Nearby allies become immune to status effects. Hold the ability to cast the immunity onto Titania. Tribute, cycle through and extract one of the 4 buffs when cast on an enemy. Okay, I'll look at this when we actually unlock her, but very nice. Thank you, Amarin, for the blueprint. And there it is! The Silver Grove! Quest complete! Very cool. And I'm guessing then that these Orokin-esque butterflies are a product of her, right? Because I did wonder at the beginning, like, what's going on here? Who are these butterflies? Where have they come from? Trying to get pictures for the old thumbnail. Hopefully you enjoy that. There we go. Okay, exit. Right. I think there's one other thing I'd like to do before we maybe rest for the day and maybe do a little bit of note-taking and sort of recapping on events and questions which I have. I've got an assassination mission over on Deimos.
You condemn our appetites, yet fail to retreat from your own.
Interesting. I've definitely hovered over this before, and he said something which I thought I need to talk about that next time.
The emissary knows you.
The emissary.
That you are.
What's the... Who and what is the emissary? The emissary. Mentioned by the Zealoid prelate. And... in... Hold on. Do that, and then in here, infested over on Deimos. They apparently know who we are. Who is the emissary? Is there some sort of hierarchy within the infested?
Primordial recollections. Life forms Chiropteran, annihilating darkness.
Yeah, I figured we'd go and do this. I've got a couple of assassination missions sort of like around... Oh, wait, before we go. Sorry, I need fire and slash. So let me quickly go and alter my Rubico Prime. We will upgrade. We will ditch Stormbringer, put Hellfire in. That deals gas. Oh, 1.5 damage to infested Deimos. Yeah, I mean, surely that would still work, right? It's fire plus toxin. Yeah, we'll just do that. Okay, then let's go back to Deimos, and then we'll go over here and deal with the Zealoid Prelate.
Knows you
all that you are. And yeah, what I'll do is, when we're done here, I will probably pause recording briefly just to go and transcribe what Sylvanas said at the end about the Dax. But my god, that was a very fun quest.
You are welcome.
I'm welcome, thank you.
Eris, we come.
From Eris we come. I'm slightly put off by the fact that there are no enemies. Well, there will be enemies because I can hear him monologuing in my direction, but still. They're not immediately in front of me, which is disconcerting. Oh, God. Is he in here? Ah! God, that scared me. Oh! He kind of looks like a Warframe. Would you not agree?
1,000 hands wait to embrace.
1,000 hands wait to embrace. Remember that. 1,000 hands wait to embrace. Okay, I need to get a move on. I'm stood too far back. Come over here, put down the shield, grab the shield, turn around, shoot him in the head a couple of times. Okay. Or it can sell. I'm on my way, buddy. I'm on my way. I thought he was gonna, like, continuously charge at me, which is why I ran away, because I thought that would be a safer option for me. And then he just sort of stood there menacingly, which ruined my plan.
Protect the congregation. They must not steal our light.
Okay, that isn't him. That's a shade. Is he in here? I don't know where he is. I need to pick up that. What is this? Oh, this is going to reveal him. It's a light. Annoyingly, though, oh, God. No. Okay. I'm beginning to understand. So I need to move that onto him, is my read. Hold on. He's currently immune. Let's go this way. So defeat the one bathed in light. Grab this, and then speed. Let's go. Where is he? He's here. No, he's not. He's over here.
What you stole, I retrieve.
Oh, God. Gotta be careful.
Questions, give to me.
What is going on? Prevent the prelate from healing? I'm trying. Hold on. Missing my shots a little. Okay, so he's there, but I'm... So, okay, so do that again, but shoot him harder, is what I'm hearing. On it. Because annoyingly, to shoot him with my sniper, I need to drop this. That's better. That's better. Where's he gone? Okay, so there's damage windows. I can't deal more damage than I'm allowed to in that window. That's understandable. I'd rather they do this than I just one-shot a boss. One more. Okay, I think that was enough. Arlo's flame protects us. Arlo's flame. Where is he? Stand still. Thank you. Okay, grab the light. Take it back to the boss.
We shall wash the self out.
Okay, I don't think I can shoot him anymore. Yeah, that's when he goes immune, and then he's going to try and heal himself again. So there'll be 2 more phases, because we're getting 20% per phase, right? Oh. Didn't see that. 1. Nice. Okay.
Protect Arlo's flame.
Protect Arlo's flame. Is that what I'm picking up? Let me have a look at the dialogue. What is it called? Pick up Arlo's flame. Okay.
Paradise comes for you.
Paradise comes for you? Why don't... There's so many implications here. Oh, hold on. Let me drop that. Where's he? He's moved. Hold on. I've made a mistake. Okay, there we go. I don't know if we dealt enough damage. I think we're maybe like 100 points of damage away from The transition. Oh, these trees. Oh, no, 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 no. Come back. Come back here. Okay, drop it.
You have not earned his gift.
You have not earned his gift.
Bastions, be generous.
Yeah, I saw that coming. Saw that coming. I was not playing very safely. Any more up here? No, just... Ah, I missed it. Never mind. Okay. One more flame required. As long as I can shoot him in the head, we should have it. Where is it? There it is. Grab this. And back we go. Okay. Drop it. What's he got? No! Reload! Shit! Yes! Come on! This is but a breath. Before what? The next. That is probably one of my favorite boss battles yet. I enjoyed that a lot. That was fun. Okay. Let's go back over here. And then over here. Whee! Come on. What blueprint?
Let's get out of here.
Path Assist Blade and Spinning Needle for dual daggers. I'll take it. I was kind of hoping it was going to be a new frame. I'll take this. Sure. Beggars can't be choosers after all. I'm trying to think if there are any other assassination missions I can quickly squeeze in, because again, I've saved a lot of them for playing with you guys. There are a couple where I've reached out on Discord and said, is this going to be cool? Such as, I think it's the Sergeant. May as well be an ad. Like, I didn't even recognize when I'd killed him. In fact, I don't even remember if he had a boss bar. He just had like a little bit more ornamentation on his arm, and that was it. Jupiter? The Ropolist? This is the one which you guys said would have been a spoiler. I need to do Chimera Prologue. You must complete the Chimera Prologue. Okay, I've not done that. I don't know where I would do that. Neptune? We've done the assassination there. Pluto. I feel like there may have been one on Pluto. Maybe I've not unlocked it yet. Damn. Okay, well, Pluto, Eris, anything up on Eris? Ostrus, Brugia, Akkad. Yeah, nothing there either. I really thought there was another one that I'd been saving. Oh. There's Forid. I swear, guys, there was another which... Venus? Is it here? No, if I can't figure out where it is, then I'll just give up. I'm not that bothered. I feel like it involved... It involved someone that we knew of. I give up. I'll show you in the next episode. If it were important, I would have presumably have been able to have found it by now. Right. I will leave that there then, and we'll do a little bit of theorizing before we wrap up this episode. I was going to say, why does the floor of my ship look orange? It's because of the light coming out of Deimos, isn't it? Like, look here, it's meant to be all grey. That's cool. That's a nice feature. But again, look, you can see these... It looks not as bad here, but like the reflections on the glass, I feel like... Yeah, it's not as bad in this room, but they were really, really pixelated in the private quarters. And just to confirm, if I go to options and type in dynamic resolution is disabled. Whether dynamic lighting would help? What if disabling that fixes the problem? No, that does nothing. I didn't think it would do anything. Dynamic lighting, re-enable. But yeah, because I know a couple people were like, that's a byproduct of dynamic resolution. Just want to confirm for people, it is not. So if I come over here, let's see. See? I don't know, like, when you've got such a beautiful sky, and that clearly has been worked very hard on by the artists of the game, to have it sort of upended with all of these nasty pixelated reflections just feels a shame. You know? Feels a bit of a shame. I mean, if you stand back here, you can even see them. It looks like someone's painted using the pencil brush in paint. Anyway, I'm not going to keep blathering on about that. Let's come back over here. Where should we get comfortable? Let's get comfortable here. We cannot hear the foundry, so this works quite nicely. So, what are the... Oh, well, we just got all of these notes about this Arlo. Whether Arlo is the emissary, I don't know. I can quickly look at the screenshots and see if he ever referenced Arlo as the emissary. Pictures, Warframe, scroll to the bottom. I'll try and read out some of the things he said. From Eris we come. Arlo's flame protects us, and us it. But the irony there is that me bringing Arlo's flame to them is what killed them. Anyway, protect Arlo's flame. Paradise comes for you. You have not earned his gift. You've not earned his gift. Paradise comes for you. From Eris we come. From Eris we come. Eris. I've done tiny bits on Eris. I needed to go to Nimbus. There was an item that was that dropped there that I needed, which is why I've unlocked Nimbus. I'm guessing then this is the homeworld of the infested then? Eris is the homeworld? Maybe Arlo is here somewhere? Mutilist Alad V assassinate? There is a relay there, but you cannot travel to it. Kuiper relay. Seems to me like it is busted. Probably the work of the infested, if I had to guess. So yeah, maybe that's a little bit of a reveal about the origin of the infestation and where they came from. Eris. So let me go here. We will go to the notes. The emissary. I'm gonna punt for it and put Arlo, because him referencing the emissary and then bringing up this named character, to me, feels appropriate. If that's not the case, I will edit the note in the future, but for the time being, we'll leave that there. So Arlo's flame is an item which we needed to use to defeat the prelate. Who is Arlo? We discover that the infestation comes from, I'll put in parentheses, comes from Eris. They believe in a paradise, which, to go and get the, I think it's in Greek myth, paradise. Elysium. In Greek mythology, originally the paradise to which heroes on whom the gods conferred immortality were sent. It probably was retained from Minoan religion. In Homer's writings, the Elysian plain was a land of perfect happiness at the end of the earth on the banks of the Oceanus. So I'm guessing, I say I'm guessing, I'm drawing a link there. Because paradise was again capitalized, it makes it seem like it's a location. So maybe the infested believe in this paradise, this Elysium. They believe in a paradise. Could this be related to the Greek Elysium? A paradise where heroes were given immortality? A paradise in which the heroes of the gods were given immortality. And I suppose when the Zealoid mentioned Let me go back to my pictures. Arlo's flame protects us. From Eris we come. This is but a breath before the next. Which insinuates a level of immortality, right? The idea that he's dying but will be reborn. He's going to breathe now, he'll breathe again. The Zealoid did say he would, and again, I'll put paraphrasing, breathe again. Okay, I'm not going to go into like a big deep dive here, but what I would like to do is just sort of end of the week questions, I suppose. Where do we want to begin? There's so much which comes to mind that I almost feel overwhelmed with even tackling this. I guess we can start with what we've been up to today. The events of transference, what was happening with Warframes. So let's begin with the origin of the Warframes. Our first hint as to where they came from appeared during our battle with Lephantis, where he states we are of the same flesh. The next hint, I would say, and I might be forgetting some things in the middle here. Let me go to the Warframe tab. Can I open a new tab? Put you over there. There we go. Seemingly they are of Orokin make and design. If I type in Warframe, golems, they're referred to as golems. A powerful Warframe. Called my Warframe a runt frame. Thank you for that, Vilcor. The first wave of Warframe, according to Father, during the time of the Old War. Referring to the Necromechs, that is. So if Necromechs were the progenitor to Warframes, and the Necromechs are seemingly, as the name would imply, dead people, mechanized, you know, necromech, and you can see the skull obviously within the necromechs, but then of course we could also see Otak and Lloyd with the skull in the middle. Maybe that is housing the quote-unquote soul, spirit, life force of whoever that was beforehand. And we know that Otak and Lloyd were once someone, because Sun does state that he rode on their backs. I don't know, Lloyd, I think he stated, he's like, I used to ride around on Lloyd's back in the garden. So they were someone who then became that. Anyway, the next hint is given by the Entrati family in discovering that the Necromechs were a progenitor to the Warframes. And we can see from their appearance that they are augmented corpses, shall we say. And I believe if I type Necromech, but I don't want to send that in the clan chat. Hold on. Let me go to equipment inventory. Necromech. Do we have what? Void rig. I think that's what I'm looking for. Void rig. Void rig blueprint. So we can see at the core of the Void rig is a skeleton. There are no arms and legs, but the skull is there, like it is with Otak and Lloyd, right? And we can see here in the capsule component for the Void Rig Necromech. I wonder if there's any more info in the descriptions here. Nothing fancy gets the job done, and then some. With its electrified armor, this rough and ready mech can make the battlefield treacherous for the enemy with an arsenal of explosives. And we know that we were able to transfer into this as well. So that leads me to believe that the Warframes, again, in Necromechs being the first version, are an evolved version of what they were doing there with the necromechs. And I'll make a note underneath. We were able to partake in transference when hopping inside the necromech during our time on Deimos. We get another hint from the Grineer Queens when they said about the metal cysts. And again, I might be missing some things along the way here, so please do bear with me. The Grineer Queens mention that they made these metal cysts ... We gave you your precious gifts. Does this infer that... And again, what I should probably do instead of this is to go over the facts and then draw the conclusion from those facts instead of going into all of the nitty-gritty. So, 1. Sorry, let's do bullet points. So, we are comprised of infested flesh. And again, we can cite that as, you know, Lephantis saying we are of the same flesh. And when I say we, I'll put in parentheses Warframe. Or Warframes, plural. Warframes are comprised of infested flesh. If we go to the Silver Grove quest, and I think a better way to do this would be to do this, to sort of cite where I'm getting my sources from. Silver Grove quest. An infestation biologist was... And again, I know when I say put in charge, I don't mean she was chief Warframe creator, but she was put in charge of making Warframes. She was put in charge of making Titania. Titania is the next Warframe I've been commanded to build. So yeah, just to clarify the wording here. An infestation biologist was... And I probably should just put Sylvana at this point. I think that's how you spell it. I don't know if... Yeah, Sylvana. Just went and checked my screenshot. Sylvana, an infestation biologist, was put in charge of making Warframes. The one we know of personally is Titania. And if we just go over the dialogue again... Now I build these vile weapons called Warframes, all for one purpose, death. I've become everything I hate. Titania is the next Warframe I've been commanded to build, but in secret I've been siphoning resources from that project. I have an idea. A way back to that wounded land I call home, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. Ballas is beyond pleased. Apparently he loves the Warframes. Testing transference by myself. This is something which could be related again to the creation process. If connecting to a Warframe makes you feel the presence of this tortured thing, like an evil ink staining the mind, is that due to, again, the act of transference? Is it something that lingers within the Warframe itself? Or something else entirely? Because if these are... And if we go back to the idea from earlier about, well, I feel like it's all but confirmed that Grineer were biological experimentations created by the Orokin to serve as subservient workers, builders, etc. But what if before that purpose they were meant to be, you know, they were living flesh, being spawned out of flesh factories, cloned en masse to serve as, you know, a blank canvas for infestation biologists to experiment upon and create new weapons of war in the Warframes. And what if that tortured presence is the tortured soul of whoever it was that they experimented upon? And I'll note that under here as well. Sylvana, infestation biologist, were they experimenting on living beings? Perhaps the Grineer who we now know were biological creations made by the Orokin. And that tortured presence which was felt when Sylvana began to transfer. I'm going to put transfer like this. Transfer was the soul / consciousness of whoever it was at the core of the frame. Because this could then lead into that almost symbiotic relationship which exists between certain people, or towers in the case of the Unum, and the frames. Right? Like Titania came to rescue Sylvana. And I don't know if I can figure out if that was, again, Titania being piloted by a Tenno, who, if we scroll up here, it says the project seemed therapeutic and nurturing. I was myself. Therapeutic and nurturing. It seems to me that part of what was happening was Sylvana was looking after these kids, along with Margulis, right? But then it was later on, seemingly at the behest of Ballas, that it became more than that. And she was there to create these weapons of war. So, again, is it... And I'll make another note. Titania came to save Sylvana. Was this because the frame had become sentient and wanted to save its creator, or was it being piloted by a Tenno to whom Sylvana meant a great deal? Meant a great deal, and then I'll note, presumably, my favorite word. I don't even want to search for this. Presumably, I've only typed it 10 times. That feels far too little. I feel like I type it a lot. Anyway, presumably during the earlier days of Sylvana's employment, when the work was more therapeutic. And then I'll make a note, or maybe the frames are, to a degree, still sentient, if they are in fact built off of the foundation of a living being. So, in the second dream, when the Stalker penetrated the Warframe's chest, and then the frame clasped the sword and broke it, severing a part of the connection between Stalker and Hunhao, my read originally was that we were still able to do like a little bit of a link. Like we were the last dregs of our power as we faced death itself. We were able to command the Warframe to break it. But what if, in that moment, the frame, from the connection it had created with us, didn't spark sentience, but it moved of it on its own volition. Like there was a little bit of something in there, much in the same way there may have been with Titania, much in the same way there may have been with Gara and their defense of the Unum. I will say that what we've now learned of Titania and transference makes me really, really suspicious. Not in like a are they evil way, but I guess more excited about the mystery of the Unum. Like, what if the Unum was a similar situation? A tower comprised of flesh. But again, is the flesh being created? This is besides the point. I'm more thinking about the sentience of the tower. If the Unum is able to actually speak and converse, and, Gara loved the Unum, if the Unum itself was a person, we know of the Quills, who we will go and see next week. That's part of the plan for next week. If the Unum is communicating with the Quills, what if the Unum was like the head of this organization, the head of the Quills, and used transference as a way to become one with the tower? But it still doesn't explain the whole flesh thing. Anyway, that's besides the point. That's a whole other kettle of fish, which I am not yet qualified to really dig into. So, my guess ultimately is, and again, the thing I maybe struggle with is how the Grineer Queens come into the situation. We made these metal cysts. We gave you your precious gifts. That could be relating to the fact that the Grineer made them, or, as we came to find out, what if they're speaking as the Orokin they once were? Because we know that Grineer Queen, we've got Grineer Queen 1, Grineer Queen 2. I believe number 1 is called the Elder. I don't know what the name of the second one is. The other queen. What if they're speaking as the Orokin that they once were? And they made these metal cysts. We gave you your precious gifts. I feel like that's probably more the case. Because I was about to go down another line of thinking. The Grineer Queens mentioning that they made them made me think, oh wait, is that to do more with the cloning stuff? No, I don't think so. So yeah, that's like a big question I have, and I feel not incredibly strongly. I'd say I'm like 80%, which I guess is incredibly strongly. I feel like we're on the right path there. The fact that the frames themselves are somewhat humanoid. I mean, they're very humanoid. We've got our fingers, we've got our feet, we've got our head. Yeah, I feel like we're onto something with that. And to think that it all stems from Lephantis mentioning that we are of the same flesh. Very fun. What else did I want to know? The big thing, and I know there's a lot of things to really dig into, but seeing already the length of this episode and, not wanting to make this a 5-hour theory-a-thon, is the voice that we hear. The voice. At the end of the War Within Quest. War Within Quest. I did go back and correct my note, by the way. I'll show you that in a second. At the end of the War Within Quest, we hear a voice inside of our head. At the same time, the world... Did I get a screenshot? I want to make sure I get this accurate. I feel like everything went dark. Okay, I've found the picture. I found the picture. Let me put this in the note. One moment. Slipping tool. Copy and paste. Yeah, the world around us did go slightly dark. You can see behind us the snow-capped peaks. You can still see some snow falling. Everything began to go dark, and our eyes go inky black, which may or may not, tie into... I've never felt anything like it. A tortured presence, like an evil ink staining my mind. That might be a bit of a stretch. At the end of the War Within Quest, we hear a voice inside of our head. At the same time, the world goes dark around us, and our eyes go pitch black. We then hear the words, "You mad at me, kiddo? ? Did you forget?" And then if I go to this, I think the words were, "You owe me." Yeah, I went back and corrected it. You owe me. I do still feel very strongly about what I said or theorized in the moment. Did you forget? Oh, shit. I want the actual, you owe me. Okay, you owe me. You owe me. My interpretation of this is... Okay, so first of all, they're mad at us for emptying out the Kuva. Okay? You mad at me, kiddo? Did you forget you owe me? So because we've pissed them off, they're reminding us that we are in debt to them in some way. And my theory at the time and my theory now is that this person, this thing that we are hearing, is a byproduct or the source of our powers. That being whatever happened to us in the void. So they're mad at us for emptying out the Kuva. You owe me insinuates that we are in debt to this individual. My mind immediately goes to our void powers. Could this individual be the source of, catalyst, etc. of the powers we wield? I think the fact that our eyes go dark and everything around us goes dark as well is also, again, void-esque, void-ish visuals, right? Everything going dark, a void, a dark void. As to who it is, I've got no idea. Cannot even begin to theorize. But this is where I'm at the minute with that. And that is very exciting. Very, very excited to dig deeper into that. Because if there is someone behind what we are they the reason, one, that the Zariman, and let me come down here. Let me go beneath the picture. Is this person / thing the reason for the Zariman's accident, I guess? Accident? I do still wonder if it was self-inflicted, going back to Parvos Granum's situation where his void drive was tampered with. I wonder if something similar happened here. Scroll down. Yeah, happened here. Question mark. Is this person thing the reason for the Zariman's accident? Why were we spared whilst all of the adults were turned against us? We killed our parents. We killed the adults on board. Maybe it was a cruel trick. Maybe it's nothing more than that. This cosmic force wanting these kids to suffer. It's impossible to say. There's not enough for me to go off of and really theorize more. Maybe there is missed dialogue along the way that slipped my attention, but there is someone, something that we owe. And there is, to go back to what happened, is the Kuva a byproduct of us? This person / thing? Because for me to destroy it, and in destroying it, I just emptied it out, that insinuates that we're mad at this person thing. So it must be a prized object, possession, resource, etc. to this person and thing. And we know that Kuva is... if I search Kuva... Kuva. Is Kuva the divine blood mentioned by Vord during the intro to the game? A liquid capable of eradicating disease across an entire bloodline and species. This would explain why it is coveted not only by the Grineer Queens, but by the sentient which attacked ancient in centuries past. What is the description of Kuva in-game? If we go to inventory, Kuva... Oh, I put in Luva. Kuva. Kuva is an exceedingly rare red fluid coveted by the Grineer Queens. It can be obtained in Kuva missions and is used to cycle Rivens or build rare blueprints. We also have a Requiem relic. Iatan Star, Kuva, Riven Sliver, Loke and Zata. Ooh. Can I look at that over here? Yes, Requiem Relic. Okay, so there's the Kuva. What have we got here? Zata. Oh, it's the symbols that we see at the Entrati family's HQ over at the Necrolisk. Its heralds are the stars it fells, the sky and earth aflame. Do I have any mention of Zata? Zata? Nothing about Zata. We've got... Is it Zaku? I think that's who I was maybe getting confused with. Let's quickly get a picture of this, because this is potentially quite exciting. Zata. Zata. Sorry, there we go. Zata. Its heralds are the stars it fells, the sky and earth aflame. And what was the other one? The other one reminded me... Loke. From brooding gulfs are we beheld, by that which bears no name. Let me get a picture. We've definitely heard of this before. I think it's, the mother or grandmother mentioned Loke or Locke. Locke. Yes, the Wall of Locke. That's all we have. Shit. Wall. Nope. Lock. Nothing. Shit. I do not remember the specifics. It was something to do with the untimed door. Is it in here? Untimed door. Mother Gamitru mentioned her father tapping at this door. What does it mean? Is this what the heart is keeping open? It seems to connect to the void. Oh, God. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video. Not this video, but I'm guessing my Deimos one? Yeah, it's not coming to me. Either way, cool. Did I put it in here? Lock. Yeah, okay. From brooding gulfs are we beheld, by that which bears no name. Okay. Anyway, we need to go back to Kuva. That's what we're here for. Kuva. So we've got the refined Temple Kuva of the Tower of the Unum. I never transcribed this. That's annoying. She gave the followers some of her blood, her refined Temple Kuva, and they in turn gave it to the animals of the land, and the animals became an extension of her, and she became an extension of them. So what is Kuva? What is Kuva in this situation? Like, why is me destroying it upsetting to this person? Are you mad at me, kiddo? Is the Kuva a byproduct of us, this person and thing? I mean, there's a world maybe. Let me have a look at the Kuva picture again in my inventory. Kuva. You could say, and this is very much just a big theory, there is nothing so far that would necessitate this. It looks like blood, but it's been tainted with this oily substance, right? Like you got the red liquid and then this blackness. Could we maybe guess that this is just our blood, but it has been infused with void? And that is what this is. Again, just going by the picture. Blood with black bits in it. Keshag appears, for some reason. Slice through mobs of unruly enemies are the Kuva Guardians. Okay. Cool. Right, let's go back into here then. Is Kuva a byproduct of us, this person and thing? The icon for Kuva makes it look like blood with oil in it. Perhaps this is the void? collecting the blood? Maybe? And then if this is correct, that we owe them because they are the catalyst for what happened to us and made us void-touched, or devils, as I believe we were referred to as by the Seven, the Kuva may very well be just our blood. And then maybe our blood is then what was used to make the Tower of the Unum? Refined Temple Kuva? If anything, the possibility that it is our blood makes me wonder if the Kuva, not the Kuva, sorry, the Unum was/is another Tenno sanctuary in some way, and maybe the Unum is a conglomerate of a lot of Tenno lives being sacrificed to make this tower full of the blood in some way. I think those are the two biggest things that we've really stumbled on this week. The origin of the frames, the voice. We could go more into transference. What was it the Grineer Queens called us? Bear with me. That is the wrong tab. The War Within quest. They called me something. Uvan. And then later we discover that this place is called the Uvan Theater. And God, we had some beautiful narration by Teshin. Did I get any pictures of that? Let me go through my pictures. I'm forced to undo what Margulis did to open the gates and make you suffer. She did not cure the Zariman children, she erased them. I am not seeing what I am looking for. Oh, there is something I've just stumbled upon. I don't know how quickly I can put these in the document. I don't know if I can drag and drop these in. Hold on. Let me go back. I don't know if this is going to work. It does work. Okay, so here are some screenshots. Annoyingly, you won't be able to read what it says. I can zoom in on that in a second. But there's something I missed. So there's this narration. The biomes have been sabotaged. The food stocks dwindled. Paranoia gripped your father's mind. And then we hear, something's out there, kiddo, watching us. And it makes me think to this. You mad at me, kiddo? Did you forget? Something's out there, comma, kiddo, watching us. Supposedly our father talking to us. Is this who the disembodied voice is trying to mimic in calling us kiddo? To maybe foster a better relationship with us? To use terminology that our father would have used? You exist on the fold between two worlds. The grown-ups are howling at the door, drowning mad in the void ocean, but you are at ease, swimming within the depths. Yeah, I do not have any screenshots of the narration before we went into the Uvan thing. Oh, that's so annoying. Well, I'll paraphrase then quickly about the Uvan situation. Is Uvan a term given to the sacrifice which related to continuity? It was something like the Uvan. The Grineer Queen calls us a Uvan. And then this is called a Uvan Theater. And if memory serves, the narration was something along the lines of, you had people parading around. I think it may have even been the Tenno, the kids, being paraded around as if they were livestock. And then you had like the coughing, the infirm, the ailing, who were presumably there to partake in continuity. And, you know, when they say, bring me my Yuvan meaning a sacrifice to aid in continuity. So there would have been a time where the Orokin were literally selling continuity in the form of these younger bodies. I asked in an earlier episode what drove us to betray the Orokin, and I feel like ever since I've said that, the game has just consistently shown me why. They were scum, weren't they? They really were. They really, truly were. I cannot wait to learn more. Cannot wait. I will probably put a pin in it there for now. Please let me know if you do enjoy, again, the theories and stuff. Next week, Monday, the plan is I will double check my list, for I do have a list I was given to follow as voted on by the community. I cannot find it. I cannot find it. I believe, I'll just go from memory, I believe we will be doing Chains of Harrow. Meet Onko in Cetus. He awaits behind a door that will only open if you are in your operator form. Ah, so we can wander around in our operator form now. Can I do that when I'm on the ship? I've not thought to try that. Woo, sick. What do you think, by the way, of the fact that I'm rocking the same ephemera to make it look like we're linked in more ways than one? Isn't that cool? Did we not need to do that for something? Let me get my notes back up. In the back of my mind, I feel like someone... Fortuna? Fortuna? There was someone in that room that said, come back to me. Cannot remember. Hold on, let me go back. Characters. Alan V, Samara Stavo, Hunhel, Little Duck. Mentions returning to her when we're not in our Warframe. Oh God. Okay, let's make a note in here then. So, quests for Monday: 1, go see Little Duck. 2, go see Onko on Cetus. Perfect. And I'm guessing that will be related to, let me go, we had a bear with me, communication, inbox, Lotus, rescuing Lua, Jordas, Cephalon Suda, Grenier, Teshin, Ordis, Unknown. This is it. Oh, this is also a huge thing, and my God, it just goes to show how many things have happened this week. A gift from a past that is yet to be. From the immeasurable skein of fate, woven unseen from infinite collisions between choice and outcome, action and reaction, cause and effect, a single object has been delivered into my possession, and soon from my possession to yours. You come to Cetus. You find a door like no other. You show that door your true self. The door opens. Behind that door I await you. From my possession to yours sweeps this single object, this impossible product of infinite choices, a singular thing intended solely for you. A gift from a past that is yet to be. That is very exciting. A gift from a past that is yet to be. I don't even want to know where this is going to go. Sounds like time travel shenanigans, doesn't it? Infinite collisions between choice and outcome. Infinite choices. Infinite. I have to wait and see. But yeah, we'll do that as well. We've got to go to this door. It read to me that it might be the same one as this, though. Go to the door on Cetus and acquire this impossible object. Okay. That has been yet another episode of Warframe from me to you. Hopefully you have enjoyed. I've had a lot of fun today, and I hope you guys have too. Hopefully my modding antics as well have appeased some of you. I'm super happy with how my modding stuff is coming along. I feel really confident and happy now with where my sniper is at. There's probably loads of ways I can make it better, like getting a good Riven mod. I do have in here, I believe, one which I need to reveal. I need to get 11 kills in a row while wall dashing or wall latching, which I haven't done yet. I do need to work on that. And then kit gun Riven mod. I don't even use kick guns, so yeah, that's awkward because I don't know when I'm going to be able to fit that in. So yeah, really happy with that. What I'd like to do next is maybe get another prime weapon, but it's like an assault rifle or something. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I will quickly show you what I've got going on over at the Foundry before we go. I am building the Helminth segment. Empower the Helminth in your orbiter and unlock the transfer of new abilities to your Warframes. I don't even know what the Helminth is. Presumably when we get that, it will help us in some way. We've got Loki being made. We've got Mag. We've got Nyx. I've got the Itzal stuff being made as well. My current problem, as you'll see at the bottom, is my weapon slots are wavering. I've already had to sell so many to fit in new ones. I am fortunately pretty flush on Warframe slots. I do still have a sizable chunk of platinum, so if push comes to shove, I'll have to buy some more weapon slots and Warframe slots. But yeah, for now, that is it. I'll quickly end the week by saying I am rank 12. I'm really close to rank 13. Which isn't bad, is it? I don't think. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time for the Chains of Harrow. I'll see you then. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.